I'm going to cold call a couple of folks. Let me see if some folks can open up their microphones. Like we said, this is a communication piece here. This is an interactive program here. Okay, Kimmy, can you hear me, Kimmy? Can you open up your mic? Okay, Kimmy's a little shy. And Leslie, can you open up your mic? Can I ask you a question?
Sure. I'm not sure
Thank-
how my audio is, but I'm here.
Your audio is fine, Leslie.
Okay,
Thank you
great.
so much. Yeah, you put in unrealistic expectations. Have you experienced that in your life in terms of people thinking like, well, I expected this, but something else came out the other way, Leslie?
Certainly. I think I mean, it happens. You're trying to please, the customers, of course, right? They have their requests, but at the same time, I think you have to sort of bridge and sort of help them understand that some things may not be necessary, or you may have other, opportunities for them. So yes, I think it goes back to you can't say yes, yes, yes constantly. It's a balancing act.
Are you really good at saying no, Leslie?
Uh, I'm working on it, and
You
it's
working
not
on
really
it?
no. It's not no. It's just coming up with an alternative, right?
Yeah, yeah. And what I coach folks on is like, you're right. Sometimes it's not no, but it could be like not now, and here's why. Right, Leslie?
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's not now, and here's why. And back to that word why again, right, Leslie? So they're going to say, well, why not? Well, here are some reasons why, because remember last week, Mr. and Miss Stakeholder, you gave us these other 4 things to work on, and you said those were a higher priority. That's one reason. The second reason is now my team is, spread so thin that we can't meet that other demand. So now, Leslie, we ask them to choose, right?
Exactly.
Door number 1 or door number 2. And how does that
Kevin,
how does that make how does that make the stakeholder feel, Leslie, when you give them the choice to choose for us to work on?
No, I think they appreciate it. I mean, then they have more ownership of it. It's more visibility into why we are not necessarily pushing back, but it's sort of understanding both sides. And I think it's definitely helped conversations with stakeholders.
I agree
Absolutely.
with Leslie. It basically what it does, it brings a sense of reality,
Yes.
because executive level have a tendency to have unrealistic expectations in terms of getting things done in a specific time frame.
Yeah, 'cause they want more. They want more. They want more. They want
Absolutely.
more. Like, just give me more. Give me more. Like, we don't care how you get it done. I want these things done by the end of the first quarter. How many times have we heard, oh, we have so many competing priorities?
My favorite thing is, okay, absolutely. You want this? No problem. Okay. What do you want to stop working on?
Yeah,
And
that's
it's
it.
amazing.
Yeah, it's just a choice. It's like it's door A or door B, right?
Agreed. Yeah,
Right.
but actually going ahead and throwing that at them, saying, okay,
Let them
do
make
you
the
want to
choice.
stop, or do you have some additional money? And if that's the case, do we go ahead and bring in another team, or do we use this existing team and put off what we're working on until we get enough people to go ahead and do the other thing? So, it's the reality injection that you periodically need to go ahead and put in order to control the situation. You're not telling them
Absolutely.
no, you're just telling them why.
That's right. Absolutely. And I'm going to reshare my screen. I have another slide up here too that really helps us shape the stakeholders' expectations and really boil down to what they really need. Let me see here. Can you see vision versus mission? Can you see that slide?
And something
Mhm.
else I want to just add is, and why telling them the why, I like to back it up with statistics, with evidence, not just explaining, but I bring up my maybe from the previous sprint how they've been performing. So I am going to show them in real time that okay, this is what is happening, not just explaining so that they'll see it. Everybody sees that okay, can we now improve on this? So why do we need to drop something for the other, so everybody sees it that okay, this is how we've been performing. So if you try this other approach, it could get better. So it's just giving them the black and white of it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Having data and having a visual radiator, a lot of folks that work with use Jira or Azure DevOps or some other sort of visual radiator that has dashboards where they're querying different things to your point about having that data, right? And especially business owners, they look at that data and you can translate that into like, hey, we're losing money or we're losing scope, you're expanding the scope, and it's going to really throw us off, right? So another area I bring them to is like, okay, so what do you want to accomplish? And we'll have that conversation with them. Like, okay, now that's the vision statement for your big idea, right? Now, what's your mission as a business or a company? Oh, well, this is our mission. So now this is how we're going to actually turn that into reality, right? So we want the vision statement to be really aspirational, transcendent, and we want to be able to evolve not only with the market changes, but even internal to your business, what things are changing internally that we may have to shift if we're doing data sets or if we're building something, no matter what industry that you're in. But our goals, our sprint goals will actually be tied right to the mission statement of how we're going to do it. So much that though, when you're doing your sprint planning, you want to think about the end of the sprint and what increment you want to show and share with your stakeholders at the end of the sprint, right? So you want to think about that throughout the time box work you're doing so that that accumulative work, that increment of work can be really examined and inspected by you and the stakeholders together to get that feedback to go back into the backlog.